Hello guys, welcome to this lesson. Nice to see you guys today. Hope you guys are doing great. Alright, today we are looking at area and perimeter of rectangles. Okay, now if you are in grade 4, please gather here. This is the time for you to learn some interesting tricks on this topic. Now let's go, let's jump right in. Alright, now a quick recall. If you look around you, you will spot some object that looks like rectangle, right? Do you know how to find the areas and perimeter? Like if you see a rectangle, can you find the area? Can you find the perimeter? Now these are some of the questions you should have in your mind, and we should be ready to answer this. All right. Now lesson outline is going to be, we'll take the lesson outline like this. We'll look at the area of a rectangle on a grid, and then we'll check concept on area versus perimeters, and then we'll solve for the area and perimeter. And I know at the end of this lesson you'll all be happy and ready to impress your classmates at school. You'll do great. Like this video if you know you enjoyed this. If you are enjoying the lesson already, begin to like, subscribe, share with your friends. Let them come and enjoy what you are enjoying. All right. Now, learning outcomes. We will be able to determine the area of a rectangular figure on a grid. That's one of our learning outcomes. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to differentiate between area and perimeter. You should know the difference, and also be able to solve word problems involving area and perimeter of a rectangle. All right. Now, what is a rectangle? Let's start with this. Now, a rectangle essentially has four sides. Now, it has 4 right angles. So the rectangle has 4 sides. It has 4 right angles, and then the parallel side have equal length. The parallel sides have equal length, and then the sides of a rectangle are shown as length and width. As you can see in this diagram by your right, you can see the length of the rectangle and the width of the rectangle. So these are the sides of the rectangle. Okay, now area on a grid. How do you get this area of the rectangle on this grid? Look at this grid by your right. Now the grid has vertical and horizontal lines that form a square. Each square measures 1 square unit. So each of the square in this grid on by your right measures 1 square unit. Now let's count how many squares the blue rectangle covers. So this is the rectangle is that we're interested in. The area is the region that covers the blue. So we count the number of small squares, the 1 square units boxes, and that will give you the area of that rectangle. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So there are 35 square units of the small unit. So which means the area of this rectangle is what? 35 square units. Simple, right? It's as easy as that. You can apply this to any rectangle at all you have to get the area. Now, look at this one. That's what we just looked now. 35 units, right? That was the answer. So there are 35 squares, so this means that the rectangle has an area of 35 units. Okay, now area versus perimeter. Who has an idea of what area and the differences between area and perimeters are? Anybody in class? Anybody watching?
Yes.
You have any idea? Okay, now look at this. The area is the amount of space inside the shape. Like look at this rectangle by your left. The amount of shape of space inside the shape, that is the shaded part, that forms the area. Now if you look at the shape by your right, it is not shaded. So the perimeter on the other hand is the total distance around the outside of a shape. So if you measure the distance around the outside of the shape, you get the perimeter. But if you measure the area inside the shape, you get the area. So this is just the difference between area and perimeter. So the space within the shape is the area. The distance around the shape is the perimeter. So this is very vital. All right. Again, let's look at this. What are the formulas we can use to find these two parameters? Now, area, as we said, is what? The space inside the shape, which is simply going to give us the length times the width. So when we multiply the length times width, we get the area of the shape in square units. Now, when we to get the perimeter on the other hand, we add the length, the distance around the shape. So we have what? 2 length and 2 width. So length plus width plus width. So that can easily be readjusted as 2 into bracket length plus width. So we'll get the perimeter of the shape. Now the perimeter is twice the sum of the length and the width. Yeah, that's exactly what we just said. So perimeter is expressed in units. So if the unit of the length is in centimeter, the perimeter at the end of the day will be in centimeter. But if the area, the unit of the length is in centimeter, the area is in centimeter square. So these are some of the differences between area and perimeter. Now let's look at a practical example on this topic. Look at this example. You have this football field. Oh, this is a basketball field, right, guys? Is it basketball? Yeah, basketball field. Now this is a basketball court. You can see that the length is what? 15 meters and the width is 11 meters. Now the area of this field will be what? Length times width, which will be what? 15 times 11, and that gives us 165 square centimeter. Now the perimeter, on the other hand, is 2 of the length plus the width. So if we add the length and the width, 15 plus 11, and multiply it by 2, we will get the perimeter, which is what? 52 meters. So this is the area and this is the perimeter of this basketball court. Now let's look at some discussion. Let's take a break. Let's discuss about what we have learned already. Now, what task requires measuring the perimeter of a rectangle? Think about this. Take a few seconds and think about this. And also, in what real life situation do you need to measure the area of a rectangle? Now, I want us to think about this. Drop your answers in the comment section. I want to hear from you. I want you to be engaging in this class. Drop your comments, your answers to these 2 discussion questions. Let's see how we think about this. Yeah, I want to hear from you. All right, let's move to the next part of the course. Now, applying area and perimeter. How do we apply area and perimeter? Now, we likely need to work in pairs, but since this is an online session, we will just go through it. Now, the rectangular field shown in part 1 is a 310 feet long and 250 feet wide shape. So what is its area? How do you get the area of the shape? The one on the left. So we have the length of 310 and the width is 250. So the area is simply what? Length times breadth. So when we multiply 310 by 250, you get what? The area. So when you do that, you get your area and you can write it in the space provided. Now, if you look at the one on the right, the same shape, but now the length is 160 centimeter and the width is 80 centimeter. What is the perimeter? So the perimeter will be what? 2 times 160 plus 80. You add the length and the width and multiply by 2, and you will get your answer in what? In centimeters. So this is quite easy for us to go through. All right. Let's do a quick recap of what we have learned today. Now, remember the following formulas in finding the area and the perimeter of the rectangle. The area of the rectangle is what? Length times width. While the perimeter is what? Length plus width times 2. So these are the 2 basic major formula we came across in today's lesson. Let's not forget, and remember, you can always use this whenever you have a rectangle. All right, this is going to be the end of this class today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I know you have learned a lot. Begin to practice all we have learned, and you become better and better by the day. Now, if you like this video, once again, try like, subscribe, share with your friends, and see you in the next class. Bye.